some fun or maybe get some answers. Let's get some answers. Um, so, if you were on watching, welcome, welcome. My name is Patty. I am an empath that does tarot, but I also do intuitive readings. I am a life transition coach, mindset transition coach as well. So, I'm here to do a live reading. This is just a general reading, and I'm going to say it's mostly for March, just to see what the energies are going to go on through March. I already did a reading for the 10th through the 17th. I think I did it live. And you can go on my channel, Divine Warrior Intuitive, or you can go to my website, divinewarriorintuitive.com, to do a one-on-one. Or I now announcement, I also have Etsy. So the reason why I did Etsy is because some people can't afford a half an hour reading. They can't afford an hour reading. So they basically can now get just like a really quick answer. It's less than 24 hours. I will do them authentically. There is no AI. This is all me doing it. So, and I think they start at like $4 and go to 11. So you get a photograph of what the reading is. You get an audio recording of me telling you what's going on in that spread, and hopefully you'll go on there and order or just support my Etsy shop. All right, so let's get going with these energies. Again, energies change from millisecond to millisecond. So this is all your mindset, how you maneuver, how you think, how you handle things, because we are just energy. All right. So this is how we handle life in general. Okay. So if you've watched my channel before, thank you for coming back, and also to supporting my channel by subscribing. Greatly appreciate growing my warriors. I love it. But this deck here is Divine's message. So this is your higher power, the universe, whatever it is that is a message trying to be sent to you today. And you might watch this recorded. This is when you're supposed to be watching it. So if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then it's just timing, or maybe you're not going through it. So let's see what Divine's energies are for the rest of March again. And I can, if you want a one-on-one and you want a love reading, or I call them relationship readings, definitely we can do those, career, all kinds of things. But I'm also a life coach. So if you have metaphysical abilities that you do not understand, or things are going on, say like you're dreaming of things that you really aren't sure why you're dreaming that, maybe you dreamt it 2-3 times, I can help you with that as well. Definitely want to check in, and if something is bothering you, causing you to struggle or challenge, definitely you want to listen to that, because that's your spirit and your soul trying to tell you something. Maybe you're just not analyzing it right, or not reading it right. So maybe you want to check in with somebody who knows how to do that. And it doesn't have to be me. There's so many people out there like me that are empaths or intuitive and that kind of a thing, or are mediums. So I'm a medium, but it's not super strong. So I'm not quite sure why I hear people when I hear them, but I pay attention to that. All right, so let's get going with this reading. That's a beautiful. Oh, wow, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So it's interesting about this month, especially if you're in the United States. We got a lot of chaos going on in the United States. However, don't pay attention so much about the chaos going outside, focusing on the chaos that's on inside, which maybe we need to do some healing. Maybe we need to figure out something, trying to make a decision. That creates sort of like a kerfuffle between our mind and our spirit, because when we don't understand how to do something, or like I can't make a decision. That's just the internal fight between your mind and your spirit. Your spirit already knows what to do, but your mind is so earthbound that it's fighting everything. It's sort of like fighting the wants and the needs. Okay. So if you go and buy out of wants when you really should be buying out of needs, then there's a kerfuffle there. There is like your spirit saying you need to buy only this, or because you got bills, or do you want to do, you got your bills paid and you want to buy it, okay, go ahead, kind of a thing. You got this internal battle going on, especially during the month of March. There's a lot of energies out there that are creating a kerfuffle inside of you versus outside. It's like some people allow their circumstances to control them rather than controlling their circumstances. And a lot of that's choice. A lot of that is choice. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so the first card is Divine's card. Remember, this is the message from the other side, whatever you believe in, your higher power, your ancestors, anything of that nature. This is the number 8, and it's a storyteller. Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody has a story to tell. And sometimes that story, even though we don't think about it, may help another person through their struggles or through their challenges. So sometimes when we hold back our stories and we hear somebody going through that and we don't share our story, sometimes that is sort of, how do I put that? It's holding back an energy that wants to expand. So if I didn't share my sexual abuse stories and how to heal, survive, and manage it, and somebody else, oh, I've been through that, then great. Can I help you? Or can I give you ideas? Or here's my story. Maybe this will help you, kind of a thing. So somebody's holding stories that they really should be sharing. Now, this is in a book, so you might want to write, and some people may want to write a diary, a journal, or a whatever. You should see my mom when she passed. There was 2 banker boxes. If you don't know what a banker box is, they're really big. They're about this big, they're about this deep, and it was full of journals. Full of journals. And it's really hard to go through them because I didn't want to read all the negative stuff if she was writing about me, because I'm a black sheep of the family, put it that way. But your stories can be in writing. These stories can be done in song as well. Thank you. So I forget about that, because when we tell the story, when we listen to music, we're listening to a story. Whether we want to believe it or not, it is a story. So it can be written in many, many beautiful ways. Mhm. And the feather, thank you. A feather is the quill and pen. Okay. The old fashioned quill and pen is all about being light, being airy, being of light, not dark and heavy. We're doing our storytelling not to tell it because we can tell it. It's sort of like when people ask a question. So they want to get nosy, or they want to really be true about why they're asking. So sometimes you might say, are you asking to ask because you care? Or are you asking out of curiosity? With they're asking out of curiosity, and they're not going to admit to it because they don't want to be caught gossiping. So this is something that you have to really be mindful. Is it gossip, which is dark, low vibrational, low frequency, or is it of light? Is something that is going to help? Is it something out of love? Is this something that is going to create in a positive light manner? Okay. When we do things out of love rather than the low vibrations, then that's the highest vibration that we can get. So whatever this storytelling is for you, or whoever this is for, please pay attention, because everybody's got a story. And a lot of the times when we think, thank you, when we think that somebody is negative, nasty, mean, there's a story behind why they are that way. And sometimes we have to sit down and say, you know what? I don't need to know that person, but I have to understand there's something that created them that way. And unfortunately, they're still staying in that low vibration, low frequency, and they are stuck. And maybe they're stuck in anger. Maybe they're stuck in frustration. Maybe they're stuck in just being mean or nasty or an a-hole kind of thing. And there's a reason why they're that way. We all have a story. Okay. So the dog is the current energy. on this oracle deck. Loyalty, sincerity, unconditional love. What a fantastic card. And it's the number 10. What a fantastic card did Divine pick, or the highest vibration pick, to go with their storytelling. Unconditional love. And that's what dogs, that's what animals do. Most animals, that's what they do, unless they're wild, domesticated ones. I'm very much into horses. So definitely horses have their own personality and everything. However, they're unconditional love as well. As long as you feed them, because they're all about food, right? Just joking. But this is also the number 10 in numerology. So you got the number 8 with the Divine's card, and you got the number 10. So that means progress moving forward, whatever this storytelling is. And the thing is, the loyalty and sincerity, where does that come from? Are we loyal to what we're doing? Are we loyal to the people that we're serving in our little circle, our community? Are we giving unconditional love? Or is this a question? Is that coming back to you? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, the downloads are coming in like no tomorrow. So I believe that this energy is coming towards you, and somebody's questioning the past, the present, and the future of this person, persons, place, whatever it is, whatever it's serving you, definitely you're questioning it. I don't know if that is for somebody out there. If it is and you're watching this, please comment. Let me know, because that's a huge thing, to not be able to trust, not be able to be sincere, like an a-hole kind of a thing. Somebody's being that way to you. Definitely, you really want to get that under control, because that is your control. That is where you make your boundaries. That is where you make your standards. That is where you make things for yourself in your life and what you allow in. Okay. Sometimes we make the mistake and we allow certain people in, and you're like, oh crap, I wish I would have never done that. Done that before. But the thing is, we can stop that. Then how we stop that is say, you know what? I appreciate you, you're not for me, or you know what, this is not my standards, my integrity is not there, I wish you well, and you keep moving forward. Okay, because you don't want to have anybody in your life that you cannot trust, that is not loyal to you, and that is not giving you the love that you need. All right, welcome, hello, hello. But the thing is, we got to know what we want. Get to 30, they're not quite sure what they want, because this world is so fast for you guys. It is so fast. So it takes time to stop a minute and see what it is that you want in a relationship, in your job, in your future, and all that kind of thing. What's your story? What is it that you want? So knowing that is what's going to get you the loyalty, the unconditional love. I guess we're going to be talking about relationships more today than I expected. But that is where you also get the sincerity. So let me tell you the word sincerity. There are different levels of that sincerity. So have you ever met somebody and they said something and you're like, "Oh, that's really sincere." That's just like the lowest of it's sort of like writing a letter and saying sincerely Pat. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's Kate. It's very, I don't know the word. What word am I looking for? It is very, come on, help me up there. What is the word I'm looking for? It's too casual. Okay. There's not much meaning into it. It's just like, okay, I said it because that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. But as you get to the level like, oh, I'm really sincere about that. I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. Then it goes up the different levels of that. Sorry, something's poking my neck. Why is that poking my neck? There's nothing there. Okay, is that a message for something? Something's poking in my neck. Okay, if that's supposed to be something, let me know. I'm going to move in here a little bit. I'm having leg and back problems again, you guys. So bear with me, all right? Okay, so let's go on to see what these are. It's also the number 10. So in that loyalty, if this is a person that you're dealing with, if we see a lot of cups, then we definitely know we're dealing with somebody um, more closely to you. But if it's the number 10, this, okay, thank you. Somebody may have lost a pet that was loyal and sincere and loving to you. Definitely. They're there, they're there. Trust me, those pets are there. It's amazing how you can hear something, feel something. You'll get a message that, oh, yeah, I remember out of the blue. They're just letting you know that they're there. All right. I've talked to my mom since she's passed on, so I don't have to be persuaded that there is another side. I know there's another side. I just don't know how it works, although I am going to respect it because it helps me in many, many ways. And they help me in many, many ways, whether they're my guides, God, or whoever you want to call him, higher spirit, that kind of a thing. All right, so we're getting pentacles here. So looks like somebody is working on this, but we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and it's asking me to look at the rabbit again, another nature thing. Okay, wow. Definitely, this is something somebody's learning about. Oh my gosh. I wonder if my daughter's listening. We all are learning until we get, into that ground, or um, we are always learning. If you don't think you're learning, then it's time to recheck. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles is the first card, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay. So what is this telling me? That whatever this relationship is, you're learning, or they're learning, because this again is about trust. This is about loyalty. This is about finances. Um, boy, the Six of Pentacles, I'm just hearing a lot of downloads, guys, is again that give and take. This is a give and take. You can ask a question, but it won't come until the end. I'm sorry. If it's a question about the reading that we're talking about, I would be happy to interject. However, if it's a question outside of that, I will be happy to answer any questions at the end. All right. I do that. That's how I do my live readings, so we don't interrupt the flow. Okay. But the Six of Pentacles is a give and take thing. Somebody's learning. Now, this could be a new person learning on their own about finances. Maybe they had to move out, they're moving out, and they're by themselves. And now they have to teach themselves, about the bills, how to pay the rent, how to manage money, how to make things work, how to give and take. I just mentioned in the very beginning, I can't make this stuff up, guys, about buying out a need versus want, getting control of that finance. That's your first card. And I don't know what that is for somebody. This could be somebody taking, if you have a roommate or a partner. And for example, I guess I'm going to share this story a little bit, because if you've got a roommate that is not paying the bills, or paying half the bills, or saying that they're going to pay it when their taxes come in, it's a bunch of hooey, guys. It's a bunch of hooey. It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Okay. So you have to be accountable for whatever it is that you have, and you have to be honest about your storytelling. Okay. This is where you build loyalty and trust in another person, because if you're in a relationship, or you're getting into a new relationship, or maybe you're getting out because of this, is money is going to break up your relationship more than anything. Even the word SE, you know what? So the money will break up your relationship more than anything on this earth, because you have to be on the same page as your partner. This is a number one, this is a number zero, it's the 10. So this is all about starting something fresh, starting something new, making standards, making and being honest about it, because your next card to the center of your reading is the Queen of Swords. What are the swords about? Truth. What is the swords about? Being honest and blunt, and making sure that things are being true to what they say. So is that person being true to what they say? And how can you tell that? Is because their actions are going to speak louder than their words. Don't pay attention to the words. Words can come easy, easy peasy. However, The actions are going to say what is going on. Again, here we go back to the storytelling. Here we go back to, if you're dating, ghosting, saying, oh, you're the right person, or maybe they want a booty call, or whatever it is. They're not being truthful to their storytelling. This is something you've got to be mindful for, because this is about a learning. This is the Three of Pentacles. It is the Queen of Swords. It's the Magician. Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. Okay. That kind of thing is definitely somebody's story, but again, with a twisted mindset. This is, and that's the same with ghosting. You have to think, okay, if somebody ghosts you in the dating world, definitely you have to look at that and say, thank you, because that one is a person that doesn't have integrity, morals, or feels like that they will respect another person. Ghosting disrespects, shows immaturity, and shows that you are not emotionally stable enough for this. And that's why it's really important to get yourself to where you love yourself in your story of who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do, and anything of that nature. That's your truth. That's your honesty. So somebody is jerking your chain, getting you smoothed over, and they're doing it because they're blowing smoke and smoke up your wazoo. Okay, so be really, really careful who you're bringing into your circle. You don't need a ton of friends. You don't need to have a humongous social circle. Every time I watch, and I know there's one lady who has been a friend for me for years, she is on Facebook all the time, and it's because she needs that attention. If you're posting pictures of you all the time on Facebook, and think about this, do you have a friend that does that? I would love to know how many of you have a friend that is on Facebook that has to be on there all the time. Those are the people that I don't disregard. I say, I'm really sorry for you, because their story is basically saying, nobody validated me, nobody paid attention to me when I was younger, nobody is validating me now, so I have to put myself out there to get that social circle that's thousands and thousands of views that does not give a crap about you. They don't care. They're just on there. They're just scrolling. They don't care. That's not the true people that you really, really have in your circle that are loyal. They're not people that really would be on, if you were on your deathbed, would they be there for you? Those kind of people on social media, it's just, I got to get the subscribers. I got to get the views. I got to get that. Why? Because somewhere in your storytelling when you were a child, it's broken, that you need to be validated, you need to be seen, you need to be heard. Okay. I don't mean to hurt anybody or break anybody's bubble, but I'm a coach and I will be honest with you 100%, because I want you to grow into the best person that you can be. Hugely. I want this ending story to be you. You've got 2 9s here. This is the outcome of the energy in March. And it does take looking at yourself fully with the Queen of Swords. These are the last 3 cards, guys. It goes in this route, because the thing is backwards. But it has to be you doing the work, but you also have to set your own standards and ask yourself, is my story true? And are the people in my life being loyal, or are they just all social media gossipers? This is again the number 10. Maybe you need to go through your social media and get rid of all the curiosity people. Remember, if you were watching in the very beginning of this reading, I can't make this stuff up. I said you can either ask because you care, or are you asking because you're curious? If you're curious, they want to gossip, they want to say all this bad stuff, they want to keep that low vibration going. Okay, it's sort of like the news. They're not going to give you all the good stuff, the high vibrational stuff, the lovey-dovey stuff, because whatever bleeds leads in the news, and whatever bleeds leads is low vibrational, low frequency, and it keeps it coming and coming and coming. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have the news. Okay, but at the end of the month, if you are looking and evaluating and analyzing where your story wants to go in the future, because that's a number 10, it's a number 8. This is about movement, guys. This is what divine is saying. It's about movement. And you got 2 number 9s back to back. These are beautiful because the 9, even though he's sitting, okay, the 9 is getting what you want and of the cups. However, he's sitting on a wooden bench. He ain't going to last there. He's not going to get stuck there. He's going to reap the rewards. Oops, wrong way. Sorry, guys. He's going to reap the rewards. He's going to know what he's done. He's going to flourish in the accomplishments. Okay. And I'm telling you, this is an earth, which is low vibrational. Spirit is high vibrational. This is a battle because remember in the very beginning, I said, I don't know why he wants me to look at the rabbit in the Queen of Pentacles. There's a rabbit in the corner, lower left corner, lower right corner, wherever it is. There is a owl. He's blinded. Okay. That's so that when he flies, he'll come back to the person. I think. I don't know falconry, but definitely I think that's what happens is they put the blinders on until they fly. And then when they fly, then they come back and they put the blinders back on. I don't know or I might have it reversed. However, I'm not falconry. If you are, you very well can chime in. However, this is the number 9. This is going from, I got the wrong cards. Sorry. It's going from that one, but it's showing all the animals in here, and that's nature. Nature is very high vibrational because it doesn't have all this technology. It doesn't have any animal or thing. They don't care about technology. They don't care about all that stuff. All they care about is being fed, staying alive, being healthy so that they're not picked on, because the lowest of the low get picked on and left behind. So it's a very natural hierarchy. They don't care about all this earthly stuff. They really don't. So he's asking us to look at moving forward, not staying where we are, following what we love and dream of, and reaping the rewards of that. What is that going to be for somebody? Okay, what I hear peace, I hear calmness, I hear loyal friends, I hear balance. Okay, I hear all of that stuff. What is that? I'm not quite sure what that means. But this is something that you will evaluate at the end of the month. So you have to look at what the smoke and mirrors are right now. If you watch the reading, you can go back. I think it's live now. I may not have put the new thumbnail on there, but it's about smoke and mirrors. You've got the smoke in front of the door, and in that door, I show you. Go back and watch that one, the March 10th through the 17th. If you look at that oracle, you can see the door, but there is an illusion right in that door. So this month is about illusions, really knowing what's real, what's not real, because in that door, and I think I held it at some point in the reading, and I never saw it until just that reading, is there's a face in that door, and that face looks very robotic. So what that's telling me is we've really got to be careful what is an illusion and what's not illusion. And that could be just even a friendship, a boss being kind or not so kind, and things of that, because we are all going through something. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are not in a storm right now, you're going to be coming out of a storm or going into one or getting ready to go into one, because there is something to learn throughout our life. Okay. I don't know who that's for. However, this is a humongous reading just before we even get any clarification to what really is happening here, because you've got 2 elements. You've got things about money causing a friction, causing a kerfuffle between 2 people or 3 people or whatever it is. You've got also honest and truth. You've got a relationship that possibly is not loyal, not is sincere. And there are ways to tell. There's always signs. There's always signs. I had a coworker tell me this last week or 2 weeks ago, about how she's going through a divorce because he is into things that, let's just say, because I can't really say them on YouTube, that start with the letter S. And she said, I didn't have any signs. I said, you're not being honest with yourself. Yes, you did. And then she fessed up. She goes, I did, but I didn't know that I didn't want to be by myself with the kids. And I'm like, then you made that choice and you know, and then now it's been 26 years or so. And she's put up with it. So now she's not putting up with it. And the thing is, that's a choice. And you waste time. I will tell you as a boomer, okay, you guys, because probably 99% of you are much younger than I am. Okay. And the thing is, welcome. The thing is, as you are growing older, you realize you're wasting a lot of time. If you are with the wrong person, if you are questioning, having low vibrations like questioning, unsure, are they cheating? Are they stealing? What are they hiding? That's wasted time. You're never going to get time back. Time is the most precious commodity on this green earth, blue earth, whatever you want to call it, and you're not going to get it back, honey. You're not. So don't waste time. As I get older and older, I'm like, I have less and less time on this earth, and I don't want to waste it. I should have thought this when I was younger. But I thought I was invincible. This is the right relationship. Knowing my intuition was saying, no, it's not. This is not the right person for you. And I wasted and wasted and wasted time. Don't waste time. It's a precious commodity that you can never get back. And everything else on this earth you can get back because it's materialistic, it's tangible. Okay. So please don't waste your time. What if the familiar ancestor used a tool on hand, efficient robot face indoor? It's possible, could do it as a tool, but I'm a boomer, so I don't normally think of robotics and AI and all that kind of thing. And it could have been a tool. However, it might have been a message for somebody else. Maybe somebody is using AI too much. Somebody is trusting in robotics so much that they're forgetting their actual real true self. I don't know. Exactly. I don't know who you are. I can't see you so close, but yes, 100%. We do waste time. And this, if you're just coming in, this is Divine's message, the storytelling, and loyalty, sincerity, and unconditional love. Okay, if you're just timing in, please go back and watch it, the recorded part, because that's exactly what we're talking about right now. Okay, so the one that had the two marriages, let me share with you before we get more clarity on these cards. I guess I used wasting time in the wrong manner. Okay. What I'm thinking about when I'm saying wasting time is that we make choices knowing that we shouldn't be doing something. Our intuition is saying this isn't the right person, everything. But when we get into a relationship or get a friendship, when I'm talking about loyalty and sincerity, which you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, we don't waste time if you think about it. So, in both those marriages that you had, or in any relationship that you had, Tessa, welcome. In those relationship that you had, you learned something either about yourself or about that person. And when you learn something, is it like, are you going to allow that into your life again? Or you are going to never go back to that again? Or you taught that person something. Now, I've been divorced and I realize why he left at the time he left. For number one, it was the wrong timing. If it's the right person, they'll come back because the timing is off. Two, He taught me things I needed as tools in my life at that time that I was slacking. Let me give you an example. My daughter was 4 years old, and I was letting her stay up till midnight and whatever, because I was a single mom working hard, trying to grind and bring the bills in and all that kind of stuff. But when I met him, it was like, oh, no, 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 no. She goes to bed at 9 o'clock. And because you need your own time. But also, too, I wasn't letting her get her homework done. So he's like, no, she comes home from school, she gets her homework done, then she can go play. So he taught me that. But on the other hand, he never knew what really unconditional love was like. It scared the out of him, the poop out of him, because he never had somebody treat him with love and giving as much as I did, and it scared him. Okay, and I could go on about that story, but that's the example. Is we don't really waste time, because look at here, you got the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about teaching somebody or being taught. Okay. So this is in your reading as well. But somebody here, I don't know who this is, but it's teaching somebody about money, or it's them teaching you. Maybe it's teaching you how to budget, teaching you how to buy out of need and not want, whatever it is. I hope that makes sense. We don't waste time. We learn. There's lessons. And let me tell you, when I'm coaching, if I'm coaching somebody and they say, well, I failed, I'll just make them eliminate that word from their vocabulary 100%. There is no failure, hun. There is no failure. That word was made up from eons ago. There is a lesson. We either learn or we don't. And if we don't, we repeat that over and over until we get it. But there is no failure. It's all about learning. This earth, we are here to learn, period. This is a school. It's a school of hard knocks, let me tell you, right? Oh my gosh, it's a rough school. All right, let me see if my glasses, I need new glasses. And I'm on my phone, unfortunately, because my computer's broke. I'm trying to save money for a new computer. So let's see. Yes. See, here's the thing. You just see red flags now. Now, when you see a red flag, are you going to stay continuing with that, even though your heartstrings, again, this is where we have our feelings control us, or we control our feelings. As we get older, you're going to learn that. I'll tell you I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm older. But you learn that you control your feelings, because when we allow our feelings to get in control of us, and we're not listening to our guides and our spirit, that's when we get into trouble. And that's we get into those relationships that either end up ghosting us after the third date, or after they get a booty call or whatever like that. So be really, really careful. Yes. Congratulations. You're not codependent. You know, there when I do coaching, there's a bunch of coachings on my I have a YouTube called Get Balance 2020. There's a ton of videos on there. And codependency is really, really hard to what do you call that? Validate that you did it. You're not in denial that you're doing it. And it is really, really a challenge to break away from codependency. Good for you. I am so happy for you. We Our subconscious, I don't know. Let me ask you this question. Can you control your subconscious? You can control your conscious, but can you control your subconscious? Now, some people, they can have vivid dreams. Some people can, what do they call those dreams? My daughter had them every now and then, where she could actually can control the dream. But is she controlling the dream, or is she controlling the subconscious? She's controlling the dream. So that is a talent I have no idea about, or how to do it. I do know that there's times when I'm thinking about somebody and I ask them, can you come or bring me a message, or can you come in a dream? They will that night. And it's basically to say hello, or there is a message in there that validates that they're still here and still listening to me. And I guess that's years ago, that's how I started being a medium. Okay. Good for you. Um, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I do have a video on setting boundaries and standards on Get Balanced 2020. Please go ahead and watch that as well, because it is a continuous thing. Because when somebody, you set your standards and your boundaries, like, I got this, I'm not letting that person in, I'm not going to do that. Or keep your standards high, with ladies, keep your standards high, don't lower. You make them come up to you, because a lot of the times in this younger generation, women, or I'm not going to say men, women, I don't know about all these pronouns, but I'm just going to say, if you have a standard and they do not come up to it, then you keep moving, because that means that they're not interested enough to come up to your standards. They want you to come down to theirs. So awesome job. But Get Balanced 2020 has one about standards. It also, I don't know who this is for, but this is for somebody that has people sucking them dry, their energy, and maybe it's money also, is taking your money and sucking you dry. Maybe you're the breadwinner and you're like, okay, I am sick and tired of this. You're not paying the bills, or I'm paying the bills and you're going out and do whatever you want. And then I'm stuck here holding the bill. Don't do that. Don't let them come talk to me. Been there, done that. And I teach people, because let me tell you, you don't want that, because that's low vibrational, that's low frequency. You don't want those people in your life, because they need to go and grow and learn the process of money, or growing up. How about that? Growing up, yeah. Oh, don't hate yourself. If anybody's in that position, please don't hate yourself. So I'm on my Facebook. I do have Divine Warrior Intuitive on Facebook, but I also belong to a couple of groups that are about sexual abuse and recovery in that nature. And a lot of people that have been abused or traumatized or has PTSD have hated themselves so much. And it's really, really sad. This is why that book up there was written, because I wanted to share that it's with weight loss. There's a lot of people out there that have a struggle with weight loss, and it's not about this. It's about here. It's about the trauma and the PTSD. Definitely. Oh, good. You know what? You are valuable. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps for you. I am getting goosebumps everywhere. Divine is one. Oh my gosh. You are valuable. Your story, whatever your story is definitely needing to be heard by somebody. I don't know who that is. All right. I don't know who that is. Oh, so, I mean, definitely. So, but let's keep this reading going. There's something for somebody. I keep getting a message said keep it going. Okay, so I don't know what this is. I don't know what the cards are for. Hopefully, this is clarity into this reading. Again, smoke and mirrors in the center. Smoke and mirrors. It's also the magician, and the magician is about making a choice in to believe what's real and what's not real. Okay, and this is why the Queen of Swords is right next to him. Okay. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that I can't tell sometimes if AI is real or not. I go and see a picture and I'm like, oh, and I show it to my daughter and she goes, Mom, that's not real. So we have to sometimes depend on somebody else to tell us. And that's why there's therapists. That's why there's life coaches. Like what I do is like, hey, hey, hey. When I did my criminal justice degree and people were getting involved with these romance scams, I went to Africa to see how they work, because that was my specificity. K1 visa scams, romance scams, things of that nature, all a lie. And it's not just one person, it's several people talking to one person. You're just being baited to spend your money. And, I know a lady who died in a shelter because she lost everything, including her home, her car, and everything. And are these upside down? Yes. And everything. And she died in a shelter because of a group. It wasn't one person, although she thought it was. And yeah, she's like, but they're coming, they're coming. I said, no, they're not, honey. They're not. They can't. If you are knowing somebody in one of these, they cannot come to the United States. You have to go there. If you don't go there and convince um, the USCIS that you're in a real relationship, they ain't gonna let them come. They ain't gonna let them come. And plus, the USCIS is like, you know what? And it doesn't mean that you have to be ashamed. I mean, politicians, mayors, and all these kind of people. I've helped people all over the world. I had a lady in Paris that, she's like, how do I know? And I said, send me the emails. How do I get rid of them? Well, you have to change your phone number. You have to change your email. You have to change every way that you did communicate with them. She did that, but she's in that circle, remember? So somebody else got it, found it out because it's the dark web in some of them. And they found her again and tried it again. And she contacted me again. I said, nope, got to do it all over again. So it's not your standards. When we do these things, you've lowered your standards rather than having them come up. You know what? When you come to the United States, look me up. Sure. They won't be here because they have no money. I mean, you can go on and see all the documentaries now where there are apartment complexes in Cambodia, Vietnam, of all these, and they're humongous rooms and dormitories with computers after computers after computers. Okay, guys, and that's all I'll say about that. Okay, so there is something for the future. Somebody is thinking about their future. Somebody is looking towards the future. It's like I'm tired of this. It's almost like somebody is getting older and it's like, you know what? Am I ever going to find love? Am I ever going to be there? Am I ever going to have it? That kind of a thing. Because you got the Page of Pentacles. Again, somebody is sucking somebody dry of money. I hate that. And because you've got the Three of Cups in reverse. So you got the Three of Cups, you got the Three of Pentacles to learn, but then you have the Three of Cups in reverse. Okay. So there is something going on with somebody. Um, I just heard somebody's given them a line of bull. So their story is not real. Their story is fake. Their story has somebody by the kahunas. Be careful because it's really easy. That's the smoke and mirrors. All right. I don't know who that's for. I do not know who that's for. Okay. So let me see what else is going on. But I like the ending of this. This is the end of March, guys. 2 double nines. And if you put it together, the 9 is an infinite number. Because if you were to put the two nines together, that's 18 becomes 9. And if you put 9 together, it's 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. That means it's going to infinitely continue. So you really want to grow your future in a higher standard, positive standard, people around you with loyalty, people around you with sincerity and all that nature. All right. You really want to do that. Thank you for the heart. Love you too. I love it. I love it. I love my warriors. I mean, people say angel communities and all that. No, you guys are my warriors. You know why? Because you have been through hell and back. Am I allowed to say that? And you know what? You realize it. You realize that you've been through it, and hey, it's time to heal. It's time to start moving in the upward vibrations, the higher vibrations. That's why warrior. I love being a warrior. They used to call me a prayer warrior, and they were going to put on my car as my car because I do a lot of meditation in my car and in the shower. Yeah, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. Something is coming for somebody to see their rewards. 2 9 of Pentacles. And you're not going to see it on an earthly basis. You're going to see it on a happier, joy filled. You're going to see it on a higher level of peace, of calm. Glad I did that. Glad I didn't do that. And you're going to see it, and divine is going to show it to you. And if you don't believe that, just trust the higher power and he will show you. There's times where people have wronged me and I wanted to get revenge, but I'm like, nope, your revenge is higher than whatever I could do. And he would literally show me what he did. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't have any revenge because karma gotcha. And it isn't mine. But this is definitely in a spiritual manner that you're going to feel this with whatever it is you need to do to better your life, get yourself up to feeling valued, feeling you deserve this, you are loved, you are everything that you need to be for you, and that's what's going to come. Because at the end of the day, when we are born, when we die, we're all alone anyway. However, we have this spirit inside us that talks to us that sometimes we just don't want to listen to. Okay. And when I teach coaching, I teach it, what we learn on earth, mind, spirit, body. That's a bunch of bull because your mind is about the earth. It's about circumstances. It's about how it thinks. It's the brain, what we train the brain. And a lot of the time, that's not the truth. So, what you need to learn is spirit, mind, body. Because when you listen to your intuition, when you listen to what you know is right and you do it, that's your intuition. And then things turn out. Even if it didn't turn out, it's showing you that, hey, I told you to go this way, but you didn't. So, time to really listen to it. And the more you listen to it, the more you are going to believe it because things keep happening more in the high vibration for you. Sometimes it might be uncomfortable at beginning, but then you're like, oh, glad I went this way in the long run. But the thing is, you're listening to your spirit. Your spirit tells your mind what to do, what to not do, how to move, how not to move. And when that happens, it's like, okay, my intuition told me don't go there. But I'm like, man, I really want to. So I go there. Wrong thing. Things didn't work out. Things were harder. Things were more struggles. So your spirit was telling your mind what to do, but your mind is the earth. This is you, your spirit, your spiritual battle, spirit versus the mind. And then that tells so spirit tells your mind what to do, your mind tells your body how to move. Don't say that. And then you say it, and then you regret it. Don't do that. You do that, and then you regret it. Or go do this. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you to the better way. And then you go do it, and you're like, whew, glad I didn't go that way. So this is again how we look at it and how we use our vehicle. We have to use the vehicle. It's sort of like, when the engine starts and your car is running nice and smooth. Okay, yeah, it's like, oh, cool, it's running smooth. That's your engine. Your engine is actually your spirit. And then it runs smooth. Now, if it starts running clunkety, clunkety, and you're like, oh man, what's wrong with it? That would be the brain saying, hey, you know, um, you shouldn't really go over there. You really shouldn't do that or whatever. And then you do it anyway. Okay. But anyway, so let's get back to the reading. I don't know what this is a long reading, but this apparently had to have happened. I wasn't going to come on, but and I was supposed to be working today, but my leg and my back, I have a sciatic nerve that is really pinching my lower back, and I had 3 surgeries through the last year, so I'm really struggling with trying to get back to normal because I'm on my feet 8 hours a day with my job, and so it doesn't help. Yeah, the King of Wands. Okay. This is what you're telling yourself. Okay, this is for somebody. Somebody is telling themselves, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. It's all that low vibrational speaking. This is a time to change that mindset. Okay, I may not know how to do it, but I'm going to learn how to do it and I'm going to figure it out because at the end of the day, there's always a resource to make something happen or not happen. You just have to learn where to get that information. All right. Just don't use AI. It's killing the planet. Oh my God. My daughter shared with me all this stuff about AI, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. She's extremely smart. She's one of those way up there, not like her mom. I don't know where she got it from, but the thing is that it's sucking our planet dry of water. And what's the most thing that we need to use on this earth? Water. And people are like, how can AI be sucking the water? Because it takes massive, massive amounts of water to run AI. And if for one warehouse, if you ask AI one question, and there's a documentary, I think it's on National Geographic or one of those channels. If you ask one question to AI, just one, it takes eight. Now, think about if you're in the United States, our bottled water is probably about 8 to 12 ounces, mostly 12 ounces. It takes 8 to 10 of those bottles of water for one question. And think there's thousands and millions of people on this earth if they were asking. There is a city somewhere, and I can't remember where it is, but they can't even shower properly. They can't flush their toilets properly. They can't run their water properly because this massive, massive building is sucking the water dry and it's not able to process. It's sort of like when you have a water pressure really, really, you ever go to a hotel or a place and the showers, the water's just trickling really low. That's sort of what's happening to them because it's sucking all the water up. And I'm like, to my daughter, I said, but don't they recycle that water? Shouldn't they recycle the water? She goes, they don't. And that's why. And the more that these AI computer buildings are being made, warehouses are being made, we're going to end up like Mars or the moon because this planet needs water to live. So anyway, so King of Wands, really pay attention to what you're telling yourself, how you're telling yourself. This dude is really thinking. This king is really on top of analyzing. This king is really on top of figuring things out. I don't know who this is for, but for you, that would be just sitting down with a piece of paper and writing down the pros and cons of staying with a person or staying with a job or staying with whatever it is or leaving. What is it? If I left this job, if I left this person, if I left whatever it is, what are the pros and cons? That's the simplest. And one of the first things I do as a coach is say, let's weigh the pros and cons of this. And that's not going to lie to you because that's the Queen of Swords. Welcome, welcome. That's the Queen of Swords. So sometimes we want to be in denial. Sometimes we don't want to believe the truth because it might be a little hard. It might be a little painful. But that's the part where we have to be in because that's getting into the numerology 4 versus 5. So you want to get that foundation of truth as much as it hurts. Because the thing is, when I went through my sexual abuse, my homework, I had to get down to the nitty gritty because, like this other person, I didn't value myself. My self esteem was low because I was brainwashed. Again, here we go to the brain. That's the human, that's the earth side of believing the crap. And the thing is, I had believed that I was worthless, a fatso, and ugly, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the truth because my spirit knew I wasn't. My spirit knew I was innocent. My spirit knew I wasn't the problem. But this freaking earth that had been brainwashed, this mindset that had been brainwashed, believed in it. Okay? Don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies. I don't know who that's for. All right? You got another Queen of Pentacles there. So you're getting double numbers like no tomorrow today. All right. Okay, so you guys. So I'm going to try to end this, but if you guys have questions, now's the time. You can ask a question. Again, I try to do one reading a week live. This is the reading that is sort of extra, but I'm probably going to be do a few little more readings live only because, again, I need a new computer and I'm a boomer. I'm on a budget. And even though I have my own little leather shop, I still struggling just like everybody else. All right. Okay, you can ask a question now. This is the time. So if anybody is listening, please don't forget to subscribe to help me out. But the other thing too, that's not the most important thing. You guys are, you're my warriors. So Financial stability. Okay. So again, if you must have popped in late, that's what this reading was all about. It's a beautiful outcome. It is the 9. It's how you're looking at your financial situation. A lot of the times we look at it through the earth lens, and we are more focused on the money than the passion. Okay. So, like with my leather work, if I go ahead, and I've had that leather company for 24 years now, I think it is. But when I put 200% into it, I get a ton of orders. And it's not because I'm saying, oh, I need the money, I need the money, I need the money. It's I'm getting more because I have a passion and love for what I'm doing, and it shines through. So I'm not sure what this financial situation is for you. There is a learning curve for you. Again, don't listen to the fast, smoke and mirrors. That's what this is about. I want to say these quick things make money quick. There's really no thing about really making money quick that is sustainable. It's like these lottery people, they win 1 million, 2 million, whatever. And then a few years later, you hear that they're going through bankruptcy. Because once you get that amount of money, and divine or the universe or whatever is not going to give you that money until you know how to handle it, because they don't want you to just go blow it and then you're back in the same situation again. So this is something that I had to learn, because my sexual abuse had me so twisted in my mindset, I would go blow my money all the time. So I don't know what your situation is without getting into a coaching session. If you wanted a coaching session, go to divinewarriorintuitive.com. But what I can tell you here is that whatever it is, there is a good outcome, but you got to listen to this, not this, because this is the quick fix, the fast fix. How do I get it fast? I need it now. I need this now. There's millions of resources if you're struggling financially with rent, water, electricity, things like that. And I don't want to coach here, but if you are doing that and having that trouble, please email me. Go to divinewarriorintuitive.com and email me. I will tell you how to get some resources to help you with that, because every place if you're in the United States, every place in the United States, every state in the United States has resources in how to help you with that. And I can help you with that. Why? Because 1 year I went from homeless to a business owner in 1 year. Okay. So that's another reason why I love to coach, is because I don't want people to stay stuck in the mud, in their vibration, their low vibrations. I don't know if that was helpful or not, but I sure hope so. The most important thing, okay, the download I got for the most important thing for you to know is keep doing what you're doing in a positive light, in a positive manner. There's something that is actually trying to hold you back or sabotage you. So don't listen to that. You know in your heart what you need to do. So keep that standard, keep that boundary, keep whatever it is high. Definitely need to do that. Trust your intuition 100%. That's what I'm hearing. Trust your intuition 100%. Okay. That supplemental income, that's beautiful. Yeah, sometimes we all need that. In this day and age in the United States, a lot of these people either need 2, 3 jobs, or you need to have a roommate or a partner or something to help you out. I have none. I have myself, my dog, and that's it. And I do have 2 jobs. I work for a major entertainment company. If you can't tell by some of the stuff behind me, what company that is, but they don't pay enough. So I have to have a supplemental income. And that's why I'm saying sometimes we have something in our storytelling that we can do to make money on a side. That is your passion. That is what your calling is for the moment. I'm not sure what that is for you, but definitely really pay attention to that inner drive. Like if something is pulling at your heart, there is a reason. That is your spirit saying you need to really, if something is really pulling at your heart, really pay attention to that sign. Hugely pay attention to that sign, because that is your inner self and your spirit saying, I'm trying to get you to do this. I'm trying to get you not to do this. I'm trying not to spend that money there. I'm trying to really make you realize. Okay. And just a top note for you for the financial right now, buy out of needs, not wants. The wants will come again in the future. But for right now, when you go to the store, is this something I need? If it's not, don't buy it. If it's something you want, hold off on it. If it's meant to be, it'll be there later. Okay, I don't know who that's for. Good. To start a business. If you want to go on, I'll tell you, I don't normally tell my other business, but go on my other business. Now, I started this business just as a hobby because I needed a supplemental income when we were married. And my husband said, find a hobby that you make money at. Well, I did little dab a bit of leather work, but then I was managing a horse ranch, 270-acre horse ranch at that time. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can buy some broken equipment and repair it. Well, that little idea, and this is what I'm talking to you guys about, that little idea is taking me to a 24-year-old business. And if you go on, I'll slow it down for you. If you go on the Leather Lady LLC.com, or you go to my YouTube channel, The Leather Lady LLC, you will see that small, tiny little idea went into a full blood business online, in person, and in my shop. And it also allowed me to teach, which now I have a YouTube channel. It's not monetized, it's almost there, but that's not my goal. My goal is, yes, if it does monetize, yes, but I'm helping and serving others. When we help and serve others, we get paid back. Okay, we get paid back. Now, Divine might not be paying me back with subscribers and money at the moment, but he ends up sending me bills that, for example, if I had a $500 bill and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? $500 will show up. I'll tell you, this is a universe. This is energy that is out there trying to help us. This is our spirit guides. This is our ancestors. This is our loved ones. This is God or whoever you believe in saying, okay, they're doing what I need them to do. So let's do it. And what is it? It's showing that we are helping others through the gifts, the stories, even if it's just a story that you're sharing because you're doing it in love and you do want to do it. And so that's what that channel was about. Simple little idea. And it was really funny that summer that I started it. I just went on eBay. eBay was really super new at that time. I went on eBay and I started posting, like I had a broken bridle I fixed and resold it for double for what I bought it like for $10, fixed it, sold it for 25 or whatever it was back there. I made $3,000 that summer, extra money. So that little thing, then a barn saw that I did that. Hey, can you pick up broken stuff from our barn? Hey, can you follow with our business? And I'm like, what? Never expected that. So you never know where it's going to take you. You would never have an idea where it's going to take you. Good for you. Let me tell you. Oh, good for you. Yeah, come and clean my business. Come and clean my house. I don't have time. Good for you. And the more you give back, and it's like when I have somebody come, there was a family, a real quick story. Family came to me, their son rode rodeo for the bulls. His little shaps broke. He was probably about 12, somewhere around there. His shaps broke. I fixed them. I charged them, not a problem. The next 6 months they came back and they broke, but not in the same place. So dad brought him. I said, okay, great. And he said, yeah, he had just found out he had cancer and he was going through treatment. And it wasn't that much. It was probably like a $15, $20 fix, right? So I fixed some and I didn't plan on you know, charging him much. But then when he came back again, he said, "Oh, you know what?" I said, "You look down." I mean, I'm an empath, so I feel and read auras. So if somebody walks by me and I know they're bad, I can tell you that they're bad. I can tell you that they're down. I could tell you if they're terminally ill. But I felt his energies, and I said, "You okay?" And he goes, "No. Yesterday I got laid off of my job." And I said, "Are you still in chemo for your cancer?" And he said, "Yeah, we're just done with that." And so I didn't charge him. I didn't charge him. Why would I do that to somebody who's struggling, not only emotionally, eternally, and it's only 20 bucks? That would be horrible of me to do that. So that's just giving back because we care about each other and we love each other in that manner, right? So this is something when you're starting a business, definitely think about who your niche and your clientele is going to be. My astrology sign is Virgo. I'm a Virgo. But we want to really look at when we are doing it. Yes, we're doing it to make money, but make sure you're doing it for the passion that you have because it shows through, it shines through. And let me tell you, I don't advertise and I have enough clientele. And probably 2026, not only because of my back, I won't probably be working for this entertainment company too much longer. Well, if I do, it'll be on my terms, not their terms. Um, I have not seen him since. However, he is a carpenter, and we were supposed to reopen our store. I had a lease. I had the investor. We were going to go sign the lease. The investor disappeared. So I have been going emotionally through hell and back because that was a 3-year project to get a leather school open. And he just demolished that for the moment. I can allow to stay in that low vibration or I can pick myself back up and go. But that gentleman was a carpenter. He was going to make our tables. So again, another way to give back. We're trading. If you're in the United States, that is something to really think about. Is what you can do for also. You wouldn't want to do it for everybody because you got to pay your bills, but trade services somewhere because pretty soon we have no idea what the future of this is going to happen with the war and everything and our won't get into politics, but the thing is we don't know, do we need to have our own sustainable living? And it's going to have a lot of trade and bartering, and the more that we do that, that's just showing love, that's showing our creativity, it's showing our passion, it's showing everything. It's actually sharing and doing everything that we can in teaching, and that's what I wanted to do is teach um, the skill of leather so that it doesn't die because the leather industry and the teachers are dying, they're retiring, they are not teaching, and so we needed that. And so yeah, he didn't realize he's all about the money. He's all about, oh, okay, this is going to cost me X amount of dollars and I'm going to get my money back in a year rather than 6 months, or I'm going to get my back money. He had no freaking clue. He ain't God. So the thing is, you know, he might have cut me off at the knees for the moment, but let me tell you, I'll get some prosthesis and I'll walk, that kind of a thing. It's your mindset. It's your mindset. But really, this is a lot about your mindset. This is a lot about the people that you're allowing in. Okay. Oh, politics popping through. I don't know. You're getting all these stupid alerts about junk. So we do need to get back to basics and we do need to not divide. We need to come together. But not everybody thinks that way. So that's why you have to circle yourself around the people that do have your back, that do have the loyalty, that do want to trade, that do want to share that wealth. Because what's going to end up at the very end, you're going to win. And the ones that want to be that way, let them be that way. Because you're never going to change them. They have to change themselves. All right. Gosh, I love you guys. Thank you, my little warriors. I do appreciate everybody that subscribes and watches my channel. They don't have to subscribe. I know that people are just scrolling and things like that. But you know what? When you got the Nine of Pentacles twice at the end of your reading, what a blessing. What a huge blessing. Just remember this month, what is it? And maybe you have to sit down and do the pros and cons. Maybe you have to sit down and say, what is it? Is this really what I want to do? Maybe you're in a decision making area. Maybe this is something that you really need to focus in on. And is it really something I'm going to do? And when you be honest and truthful to yourself in whatever you're asking yourself, where did it go? I know it's here. There it is. When you're truthful in asking yourself and you honestly, bluntly answer yourself without hesitation, that's the truth, then you can say, okay, I want to move forward on this. And how am I going to do that? And that's what I teach on my website, those kind of things. And also, God, I didn't realize doing, I think I had 70 videos on Get Balance 2020 or 60 or 40 or something like that. And I didn't realize just how much information I was giving away free, which this education and experience, and also being as old as I am and going through hell and back, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it because it's to help others, it's to serve others. All right. But the other thing, don't forget, if you do know people that want more information, divinewarriorintuitive.com, or maybe they just, want to do a reading and they can't afford a 30-minute or an hour reading. That's why I put Etsy.com up there. As far as Etsy, it's like a $4 ask a question or 3 card or pick a deck, that kind of a things. Because I was trying to find ways to help everybody, because not everybody can afford that. And then also on my lives, it's free. So, but you have to subscribe to know when I'm on free, because sometimes, like today, I didn't know I was going to be off sick. Well, and I'm not sick, it's my back. Let me tell you, my right side is really killing me. That's why I got to end this reading. But the thing is that it's free, and I will answer your questions best to my ability, because this is not me. When you ask me a question, my mind is already out there asking, can you give me the information? Can you give me the download? Can you give me a visual? Can somebody come through? Can a family member or whatever come through? And that yeah, and then that's the way I deal with it. This, and a lot of people say, "Well, what do you think about the reading, or what was in my reading?" I don't remember them because they're not for me. This is not for me. This is for whoever is watching this. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I have to go see the surgeon again this week. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully no more back surgeries. My sciatic is really being pinched. And today it's really bad. But standing on the floor 8 hours a day as a manager is, it's killing to my, and as I'm getting older, I just have to accept it. That's my truth. And I'm fighting it, but it's my truth and I have to accept it. Once we accept it, then it becomes easier. So definitely need to do that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. But no, please, um, anytime you have a question, anything like that, I do answer my emails. I do answer comments personally. Everything I do, even Etsy, I'm finding out about Etsy. It's really interesting. These same day readings, 1 hour readings. I'm like, I had to pay for one to see. I just had to see. I'm like, how are they doing this? If they're getting 10, 15, 20, one lady makes a lot of money, and I'm like, how is she doing this? AI. And I found out because I ordered one and I'm like, this is not authentic. Mine are authentic. That's why it is same day or next day or 24 hours, because I have to meditate. I have to get into the reading and I have to do those. So I don't like that they're doing this and they're making money off of it and it's not real. And in fact, I commented to the lady and she didn't ever respond. I was like, yeah, it's all AI or it's chat GPT and all that. And I'm like, karma's a bee. Anyway, no, it's not authentic. So if you go on mine, it says no AI, authentic, you know, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy. And I asked my daughter, Love from India. Thank you so much. India, it just amazes me. People from around the world can see all this. This blows my mind. Literally blows my mind because I'm a boomer. I'm like, how does that happen? He or she is sitting over there. I'm way over here. It's amazing. Technology can be really, really amazing. There you go. Stand with God, not man. Amen. Amen. Because that's where it's at. You know, we don't understand everything, and if you think you do, you're lying. So definitely have to stand. You have to have faith of the higher power, whatever that is for you. You know, and you really, really need to pay attention to that. So bye. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Please subscribe, hit the notifications, go to Etsy, go Divine Warrior Intuitive. I'm going to give you my plug now. All right. Take care, guys. Love you. See you on the next reading. I am going to be doing readings, your earth, fire, air, and water signs. I am going to be doing those. So those will be coming up. I just had to let my other camera recharge so I could do them. So those will be coming up this week. Bye.